Okay, so I bought these rather cheap snow chains for our trip to Arkansas. We knew we were going to run into some snow, so just had this for backup. I'm going to kind of review what's in the box or bag, and then explain to you kind of what I've done. Okay, you see these are turned upside down on the table. The orange would go toward your tire on the install. That protects the tire from the ratchet part. Okay, these are brand new. And the failure point. Okay, after running these for I guess about 20 to 30 miles in ice snow covered roads, this was obviously cutting on the rim. It didn't break, and when I removed it, I noticed that the plastic had broken loose from this piece here. Okay. And I may go back and pop rivet that back together. Overall, this kit worked very well for what we used it for, and that was to get us 30 miles or so out of ice covered, snow covered roads up in Arkansas. We did find out, in instructions it says do not run them on clean pavement. So we did travel, even though there was one lane clear, but icy. We did travel in the snow covered lane, and they worked very well. Very little slip on the car, on the Yukon, and they did the job. They didn't break, and even though we did run them on the asphalt a little bit, changing lanes, really didn't damage them. Overall, this is a pretty good product. It's an emergency product. Okay, this kit is definitely not something that if you're traveling every day in snow, I would recommend getting the standard snow chains. A good set looks like maybe $150, $200 for your vehicle. This was a $50 thereabouts cost, but it was really just for the emergency use. It got us out. It got us out of a situation where everybody was stopped and could not move. So it's more for the emergency use than an everyday use. But for $50, saved us a lot of time. We would have been stuck in that traffic for 4 or 5 hours, but we were able to drive around it. Okay, I'm going to take you out and show you how I installed them on our Yukon. I'm not going to use the tool to grab the strap. I'll just reach through with my hand, and this is the tool I'll use to tighten up the ratchet part. Now, it could be tightened actually with a screwdriver, quite honestly, just as easy. And so if you lose the tool, a screwdriver or something flat you could stick into here would get you out of the bind. And to release it, all you have to do is lift up on this tab here, and it actually will release from the tire very easily. I'll show you how to do it with the tool. Basically, you just push it here and lift up on the tab. I'm going to show you basically how to install this strap, snow chain. Very simple. We're going to put the orange side toward the tire. I'll take the strap and put it into the back of the tire and push it through the rim. I'll center it up on the tire, and then I'll put the blue strap through the ratchet. That's the first phase. Now we've got to tighten it up. There's some points here. This part of my rim actually is pretty sharp. So I'm going to center it in the middle as best I can. I may come back and put plastic tubing around this to help protect it from this rim. But this sharp edge, that's what actually started cutting one of them. I had a set of 3 on each rear tire. I saved one for a spare, one for each tire. Okay, to tighten this, very simple. The tool that we used, you keep going till it's tight. It needs to be very snug on the tire, okay, to keep it from slipping. This catches it and holds it in place. Okay, I'm going to take the tool they provide and actually loosen this snow chain. I'm going to put the tool here, lift up. It's just that easy, and it'll slide right out. Okay, so I have the snow chain on the tire. I'm going to show you how to tighten it using the tool they provided. You actually could use a large screwdriver here if you needed to and could not find your tool. We'll crank down on it. And just keep going until you're satisfied that this is very, very tight. Okay, one thing to notice about this rim particularly is it is very sharp right here on the edges. If this strap slides back, it can cut here. So I may go back in and put some plastic tubing over this to help protect it, just to keep it from cutting. Only one was damaged during my 30-mile trip on the snow, but it did slide back and get cut on that. Okay, as I mentioned, this set is set up to put 4 on each rear tire. Of course, if you have a front wheel drive, you would put it on your front tire. 4 spaced out evenly would work. 3 worked for me well. I kept the spare just in case one of my 3 decided to break. Fortunately, they did not, but one did get cut, as I mentioned, on the rim here. So that's just something that you have to be aware of, and it may come off. Okay, one more time on how to take this off. Of course, if you're on the side of the road, the weather's bad, you want to do this quickly, and it releases pretty quickly. If you got the tool that they provide, you use this end, come here and pop up and release it. If you lose this tool, a good pair of needle nose would do the same thing. You could come here, pull up and release that. Okay, I had to set the camera down. It was a little hard to do with one hand, but once it releases, just pull this out. Simply just pull your strap out. Overall, they work well. Okay, just a quick note. I noticed one video that I saw prior to me installing this. As the video was wrong, they actually put this side near the tire. Well, obviously, that metal could dig into your tire, and did in the video. So always put the plastic protected side toward the tire. Now, if it breaks, like that one did, you still have a pretty smooth side to use. That still would not hurt your tire. But I think I'm going to pop rivet that back on. just to be there for the next time I use them. Okay, so talking about the failure that I had, we did not lose this strap. It stayed on, but certainly it was getting cut by the rim. So I'm going to cut some tubing that looks like probably 3/4, 5/8 tubing, and I'm going to slide my strap into this tubing, and in the future I'll be sure that this sits right at the edge of my tire rim, so it prevents this from happening. Just simple tubing, got from Home Depot. I'll show you what it looks like. My fix for this issue that was caused by the rim, I have a very sharp edge on the aluminum wheel, and it was cutting into that. So I've got some 3/4 tubing laying around the shop. I just cut a section of it, slid the strap through it, and then when I put it back on my tire, I'll just be sure that this is sitting on that little sharp edge or near that edge, so that if it works itself over to the side of the rim, it will help prevent that from happening. Okay, I've put the strap back on the tire. I wanted to show you my fix. The sharp edge here was actually cutting into the strap, so I decided to put some of these on each one of my straps so that this edge of my rim doesn't tend to wear into this. So I'm just going to completely tighten it down there. Now it's much better protected against that edge right there. Maybe a recommendation for the manufacturer. This wheel has an edge, it will cut if this works up against it. Okay, one last time, how to remove your strap. Very quickly. That simple. Pull that out. And it's removed.